Well, hello. Welcome back, and welcome to all my new viewers. You have found the Chaos Vaping channel. I'm dripping some juice. Hold on a second. Um, Great channel for discussions, demonstrations, and reviews. Today we have a demonstration. I have a coil building demonstration for you, and it's a great build. I call it the Sleepy Time build. Sleepy Time. Oh. But anyways, I call it the Sleepy Time build because it is a quad sleeper coil. That is 4 coils constructed of one length of candle. I used 30 gauge wrapped with 24 gauge, but you can use any gauge, any type of wire you'd like. Just make sure that your post holes can support at least 2 lengths of the Canthal feeding through them. Only 2 of them require that, but you still have to be able to fit them in there. So why don't I stop jibber jabbering on, and we'll bring you up close and show you how to build this coil, show you how we do it here on the Chaos Vaping channel. Alright, so welcome to the up-close segment of this coil building demonstration, the main bit, I guess you would say. So I have all the pieces you will need, all the tools you will need laid out here. You're going to need a screwdriver, you're going to need a pair of pliers, small ones, a pair of clippers, 5/64 drill bit, 2mm, this is what I like to use. But you can adjust to your preference, you know, more or less wraps will keep you in that same resistance. Whatever wire you're going to wrap your coils with, whether it be Canthal, G-plat, hot wire, whatever you use, some juice, some cotton, and of course your rebuildable atomizer. Now let me clear all these other things away while I explain to you why the rebuildable atomizer you choose makes a difference. So, you're going to want to choose a rebuildable atomizer that has a 3-post system. Most importantly, you're going to want to make sure that the one you choose has a single hole center post. So, like the Plume Veil and Helios, they have a 2-hole center post system, and this particular build doesn't really work well on that. What you could do to achieve a similar result is you can wrap 2 dual coil sleepers. So basically you'd wrap 1 coil on this side, bring the lead through and wrap your next coil on this side, and then repeat the process on the left side. So you're basically having 2 sleeper coils side by side, left to right. It's nice. I personally like this build a little bit better, but what will we say? I'm elitist about it, I guess. Whatever. So to start, what you want to do is take one of your drill bits. It does make a difference that you have 2. I mean, you can technically do the build with 1, but it's definitely easier with 2. So we're just going to start this. We're going to wrap about 6 wraps. Here we go. 6 nicely built coils. Or 1 big coil with 6 nice rings. Okay. That's 6 on the interior. So I guess some of you would call this a 6/7 because of the 2 last wraps are half wraps, so it makes 1 full wrap. So if you're looking at it from the top, it's 7. If you're looking at it from the inside, it's 6. Okay. Now you're going to take your rebuildable atomizer here, deck, slide your lead through. You want your long lead to be going through the center post. I'm going to switch this around. I could have just spun 180 degrees. series, whatever, doesn't matter. Okay. In you go. Feed your other lead through, just like that. And I say you want to leave extra on this outside lead than the center lead, because the coil, we're going to reposition the coils to be center coils, so they do move a little bit, and you want that extra lead on the outside, extra length of lead on the outside there. And now I'm just going to attach 2 screws and tighten it down. You don't have to tighten these down too much. You want to just get them finger tight enough so that when you're building your other coils, they don't like slip and move, but not, you know, you're going to end up loosening them up later, so you don't have to do them too tight. So there we go, installed, ready to go. And what I'm going to do right now, because I find it easier to do it while it's still on the higher end of the resistance, is I'm going to check and see what this coil is. And then when I replicate it, I know what my end resistance will be. Okay, so it says 0.5 ohms, which is perfect. That gives me, you know, if you divide that by 4, it's going to be like 125, so we should at the end of this get a 0.125. Unfortunately, this device does not read that low, and it will just say short, so I'll have to put it on an ohm meter or something later. So now what you're going to do is you're going to lay your second drill bit on top of the canthal and start wrapping, and what I suggest you do is you actually feed it through the 2 posts here and underneath the drill bit and just pull it. Just keep doing that over and over and over again. Now that it's all wrapped up, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this last long lead, feed it through this hole, and then you're going to build your next coil right over here. Now don't forget to put the last screw in here. Now once again, when you start this coil, you want to put the drill bit on top of the canthal, slide it through the other coil, and start wrapping. And it's very important that you continuously put the drill bit on top of the canthal. The reason for this is because it puts the leads in the right position. On each coil, the lead's going to either be on the top or the bottom of the drill bit, and you want the coils that are on the same side, top and bottom, to be opposite each other. So if the lead that's going into the center post on this top coil is on the bottom, you want the finishing lead in this coil that we're about to wrap to be on the top. And by putting it on the bottom on this side, you ensure that it's on top. And the reason you do that is because we're eventually going to squeeze the 2 coils together, and you want it to be seamless. If both the leads end up on the bottom or the top of that center post, you're going to have a seam. So just make sure that you wrap your coils in the proper direction. Now we're going to loosen up this center screw here. Actually, we're not going to loosen it up. We're going to take this center screw out because it's a lot easier when it's just completely out. This is actually where it helps to have a really nice long lead, because what I can do is I can kind of put a little arc in this right here and just slide this right on through. You may even want to make a little hook here, like this, which will make it easier to slide it in and get through there. So for this last one, since we did this lead, let's see if we can really get it and so you can see it really good. Focus. Focus. Here we go. You can see the pre-existing lead from the previous coil is on the bottom. So what we're going to want to do for this one is we're going to want to go on the top. So we'll take our drill bit here, second drill bit, and we're going to slide it through, making sure that the canthal is on the top. Let me get it through this way. You can see this top, this lead is going to start a coil on the top. And because it's starting on the top, it's going to create a perfect seam with the previous coil. Alright, so we've got all our wraps on our coil all set there. Try and get a little bit closer. Come on, focus. There we go. So now the last thing we have to do is just feed this lead through this post, and our coils will be constructed. We're just clipping the leads here. You can take your drill bits out if you'd like. And there she is. Of course, we still need some adjustments, you know. You're gonna heat it up, squeeze it, all that good stuff, but that's basically what she looks like. Got my Nemi here. I'm feeling this sucker's gonna get real hot. And now through processes of heating up and squeezing, we're gonna make this coil glow beautifully from the center out. And I guess that's as good as we're gonna get. So there you go. All 4 coils glowing nice and pretty. Nice and pretty. Let's get this back into focus. This camera is killing me with the whole focus bullshit. There we go. In general, it's pretty even, so I'm gonna stick with it. And now we wick. I use organic cotton, so I'm just gonna throw some wicks in this bad boy. What I do is I just do 1 wick for each 2 sets of coils. So there they all wicked. Cut the tails off. Now we're going to apply some juice. let's make sure she makes the vapors. Look at that. She's a fog machine. So that is how you build and wick the sleepy time coil. What we're going to do now is we're going to bring this back up to normal view, talk a little bit more about it, give me my sign off, and that'll be it. Thank you guys for joining me in this up close look demonstration. Alright guys, so that was an up close look at how you build the sleepy time build. It's a really cool build. It is a little more difficult, so if you're not used to building on your deck, if you're not used to doing sleeper builds, then this probably isn't a build for you to start with. I would suggest doing a couple dual sleepers, getting used to building on your deck, and then try and approach this coil build. I will say though, it is a cloud shocker. Let me show you. I mean, just clouds for days. Clouds for days. Anyways, yeah, it definitely boosts that cloud content because you have a lot of surface area. It does take a little bit longer to heat up, obviously, because you're using so much kanthal, and it does stay hotter longer. That's to be expected with any quad coil build, though. What do you think? What else? I used Twisted in this build, and the reason I did that is because I like flavor with my vapor. So Twisted really helps create more flavor. So that's what I used, but you could use any gauge you'd like. Just make sure, like I said before, that it fits through those post holes. So a little backstory on how this coil was created. I was on a Facebook group looking through, and I saw a person had built dual coils, dual sleeper coils. So it was still a quad coil, it was just two sleeper coils. And if you have a plume veil or a Helios or something with that block style center post that has two post holes, you can do that. I think I mentioned that in the up close video, but I just wanted to reiterate. The reason I bring it up is because my roommate has a Helios, and we first did this build on his. And when I explained to him that it was a quad sleeper, he was shocked. He was like, "So it's 4 coils built out of 1 length of kanthal?" And I was like, no, it's not. That is a disappointment that I didn't think of that. So of course I just pulled the build out of the deck, and took a little while to think about how that would be constructed, and I realized that if I fed the lead through in a figure 8 shape, that I could build 4 coils out of 1 length of kanthal, and that's how it was created. And once I did it, I never went back. I mean, I'm not really big on the quad coils. I'm more of a dual coiler myself. That's what I like. But I figured, why not give it a try? And I will say it performs excellently. Normally, I keep it with just a straight 24 gauge, but I had been noticing a lack of flavor, so I went with the Twisted. Oh, just crazy good flavor. I would not suggest building this build up not Sub-Ohm. That's like quadruple negative there. This build is really designed for sub-ohming. If you're going above 1 ohm, or you're even going to 1 ohm, or even like 0.8 ohms, it's going to take forever to heat that up. Maybe if you use some really thin, like just straight 30 gauge, 30 gauge heats up really fast. So you could probably get away with it with that. However, you're going to have a smaller surface, so you're not going to get as dense vapor. You're not going to get as warm vapor, which is what I like. Also, you're going to run the risk of burning your cotton more frequently. I noticed with a thicker gauge wire, you can catch when your coils are dry sooner, and you prevent scorching the cotton, which is nice. Also, a larger drill bit, wrapping around a larger drill bit, will allow you to fit more cotton through, and it'll wick a little bit better. And then once again, you can taste your cotton getting dry sooner. But other than that, I don't have a whole lot more suggestions. Just try building it. Tell me what you guys think. You know, the comment section below is always open, and your comments are welcome. I try and respond to them as promptly as possible, but you can always private message me as well. I will answer your messages. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. More to come, as always. Thank you for watching once again. May your wicks be moist, may your tanks be full, and may your hearts be warm. Later, everyone.